Well, hello everyone. Welcome to another episode of Gundam Explained. My name is Adam Blue, and today we're going to look at the Robot Spirits Zaku II FZ. This is from War in the Pocket. It's one of the best of the UC Gundams, really, because of the story of, the characters caught up and all that. But yeah, no, that's a video for another time, perhaps. So yeah, one thing I wanted to bring up, here is the box for it, and we can kind of see how that looks there. Some really cool ideas for posing. But one little neat thing that they added here is when you open it up, there's an insignia here that you could just cut out if you wanted to and place it wherever. The only reason I bring that up is because in War in the Pocket, the kids are all fascinated with the mobile suits and they wanted to have their own insignia of a mobile suit pilot. So that seemed like a neat little Easter egg they added in here. So, all right, let's get started. All right, just to, kind of take a look at this. This is where I have the thrusters it came with, some of the other accessories on, just to kind of get a good look at it. And let's take it off the stand. All right, here we go. I have holding the really cool looking machine gun rifle, whatever they call that. We'll probably figure it out in a deep dive, I'm sure. A signature look to this is the way the green is, but also, the red in the cockpit area. There's the grenades that also has that red. Another cool thing about this is having the Xeon emblem on the shield. It's almost like a decal that's put on there, as we don't really see that too much with the Robot Spirits. There's usually something added on with the Gunpla. All right, we can take a look where there's an option for holding accessories here. Tons of thrusters, but yeah, let's dive into the accessories. All right, so as far as accessories go, we have a heat hawk that is not ignited, and it has, the hard point to stick it on the side skirt. Here's the machine gun it comes with. It's actually a very cool design that was featured in 0080 War in the Pocket. It even has an option to add an effect piece, since this is a later, more recent Robot Spirits model, and I'll show that in a sec. But you can also take off that front muzzle there if you wanted to give it that look. You can also take off the magazine. On the side skirt here, it's really cool where we have these 3 grenades, and they are removable. So there we go, and oh my god. All right, and there we go. My fidgety old man hands can't hold that for too long, but yeah, it has the little pieces in there that you use to connect it back onto the side skirt. And if you were to take off one of the grenades, you can then put in his hand and a grenade with the piece pulled out, extended to make it, look like it's ready for being thrown. And then we have the various helmets. So we have the fin on this one right here. That's a really cool classic look. But we also have this type of helmet, which is also very cool, as well as a standard one. And we'll see with this and how it works is you really just, pull them apart. So, okay. All right. With that pulled off, you could then just place this on. Something to mention is we have the mono eye here that's, looking forward. We have a mono eye here that's looking to the side, and they've actually added an additional mono eye that looks to the other side. So it's pretty cool that you have the options, and it's done in that way. It's more pieces to lose. There are some other Robot Spirit Zakus that the mono eye is movable, but hey, that's an option. There's also the piece for the back where you can hold a rocket launcher, which is sold separately. Also unique to this, to replay a scene from 0080 War in the Pocket, is this broken arm piece, and I'll show that off here shortly. 3 thruster effects, always my favorite to have these. They look like candy. I feel like eating them. There's the ignited heat hawk, and then also exclusive to this is the kind of beam saber effect piece, where you can have this plugged into the beam saber of whoever it's fighting, probably the Alex, and then you can have on the other end it coming out, and I'll show that off shortly. And lastly, my favorite, the hand tree. So a nice selection of hands here, because we have different versions of the relaxed one that's kind of more pointing, one that can just be a little more dynamic, but even between them you can have it where it's holding like the machine gun, for instance. So maybe I'll show some of that later. But also just, normal holding for either the grenade. We can kind of see there's a slight trigger finger. But then also, like on this one, there's the full trigger finger. So yeah, a lot of options, which is really good with this, because you can pull off a lot of different dynamic poses. Here's the manual, if we want to take a look at it real quick. Kind of showing some of the shoulder articulation that's being a unique feature, how the head changing works. Yeah, showing off some more of the unique articulation, changing the mono eye, placing the heat hawk. The machine gun with its removable parts, showing how effect parts can be used. Storage for the sold separately rocket launcher. How the effect piece for the beam saber works. Holding the grenade, the hands, and changing the broken arm piece. All right, so let's look at some articulation. All right, and so for the head, we have, probably full rotation, actually. And what's neat about this is these hoses on the side are kind of a rubbery texture to them. It's actually the same for here and here. It kind of adds a high quality feel to it. But with the neck, it also pulls out a bit more. You can kind of see the articulation down there. It goes up quite a bit, looks forward quite a bit as well. For the shoulders, yeah, they come out like they were showing in the manual. You even have where the chest piece even moves forward. You kind of look like he's flexing there. But also that kind of helps with two-handing if needed. Yeah, so not only is there articulation on this chest piece, but also within the shoulder connection. And then with this, let's see, this doesn't move as much as I thought it would. So this seems to just be more just loose on the shoulder, just for articulation. Let's see. Doesn't move up a whole lot unless you kind of turn the arm for that. We've got the elbow here at that angle. We've got that. And then the wrist, it's kind of like the ball joints. So, I mean, kind of your typical Robot Spirits articulation here. Same with the other side, and it has a shield here that also has some connection points, but it's not too articulated. Yeah, it has some limits, but enough movability to get it out of the way, depending on what you need to do with the arm. All right, and then for the waist, so let's see, moves forward quite a bit, as you can see. Back, sort of, not too much, really, actually, almost none at all. Let's see. And then, yeah, you get some good rotation here. Probably want to be careful where the plastic might meet the rubbery hose. I don't know if that would cause an issue. And then, as we just saw, the little sergeant or captain's fin, I forget what they call it, just came off. That seems to come off easily if you're not too careful, so a little bit of warning there. All right, as we get to the waist, we have, the typical armor skirt pieces. This kind of goes up. This is limited based on the grenades, and that's okay. Front moves out quite a bit. Back, not at all, so that's pretty interesting. So if we were to then look at how the legs would move, it moves forward quite a bit. Back is a bit limited, but then you can bend the knee that much, so it almost doesn't matter. I mean, that's a lot of articulation for a giant robot anyway. And then here's some cool articulation to look at in there. Let's see. Looks like, yeah, the skirt goes up enough where you can do really what you would need. I mean, again, when you're kind of posing these as they would be utilized in the anime or, yeah, for action scenes, it's not going to be too crazy, right? So getting down to the feet here, let's see. It moves down quite a bit. Doesn't go up too much. A little bit of rotation side to side, so it almost seems limited compared to some, but it's enough where you don't really need too much more than that. All right, so let's show off some effect pieces. All right, and then that plugs right into there. Very easy to do, luckily. So let's take a look at this. I actually used this beam saber piece to kind of pull that out because it's kind of hard to do otherwise. Now, this is what I think is going to be really difficult. Okay. That, I had to be very careful, take the edge of a razor blade to pop that off. That was difficult. All right, so then we have this. Let's see, which way? Would plug in here. Like so. And on the back, let's see, kind of lines up with that. All right, luckily I already had my Alex posed with a beam saber, so we can kind of quickly show this off. All right, and here we go with that effect piece. Looks very cool. And you know, there's not too much of the nub here, so it's kind of easy for it to come out, but also it keeps it from breaking. Also, this is very gummy, and I think that's good because it, again, keeps it from breaking. I tend to have a habit of breaking things. But yeah, that looks great. All right, and for the effect part on the gun, if you were going to use this, you actually need to take this off in order to fit this. So a little weird and disappointing, but at least you can give that a go if you wanted to make use of the effect pieces. Anyway, something I forgot are that these thrusters here actually have some articulation. The bottom one more than the others, but yeah, on a ball joint, and yeah, it's always nice to have that. Yeah, and these other thrusters are down here. They don't have articulation. All right, interesting here. Again, this is completely optional for this piece, but I lifted this up. I had to use a razor blade and be very careful because it was just stuck in there really good, and it was hard for me with my nails. I mean, I did clip my nails the other day. That could be it. Let's see, and if we were to plug this in. All right, and I think I got that in. It felt weird, but it then snapped into place. But there you go. There's an option to attach a rocket launcher on there if you needed to. Well, anyway, that is it for this Zaku from 0080 War in the Pocket. If you have any questions, maybe something I didn't cover, just let me know. And let me know in the comments what you think of this Zaku unit. I think this is one of the coolest looking Zakus. That red really adds contrast to it. I also like the high quality here in general of the piping that's going on there. It all looks great. But anyway, thanks for watching. Like and subscribe if you haven't, and talk to you next time.